ever used to do.
They poke fun of themselves very rarely, unless it's like happens naturally. Is there blood in a match? When go watch.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no doubt that's physical strain, and I'm sure that those guys fuck their bodies up. When they get out of there, they're done, and they're literally broken people.
Yeah. Most of them are. But I mean, I'm like, go look at an old Ric Flair Dusty Rhodes match, like Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes in a cage, and Dusty is bleeding like everywhere, like the mat is covered in blood. You know, you look at the old wrestlers, and they've got like scars and notches on their heads from where they would cut themselves and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, those guys came up on guys like Dick the Bruiser and old school wrestling. Those guys, and so they carried on that tradition. And then as sports medicine became more advanced and these guys getting big money doing this, they decided they didn't want to fucking fuck their bodies up, so they probably started training and doing this shit a little more professionally. But I mean, they would just do shit back then. I mean, they weren't trying to hurt each other. They had their things worked out, but they would just do some dangerous shit back then, and there was no like lifeline for it. You could just really get fucked up doing it.
Well, I can tell you exactly when things started changing, and it was the Monday Night Wars, when WCW, World Championship Wrestling, run by Tad Turner, went against the WWF at the time, on Monday nights, and you would hear, like WCW would say, WWF is a taped program tonight. It's not live. It's taped. Here are the match results, and they would start giving away match results on air for the WWE product because they were they wanted the ratings, they wanted the win. I still love it. I really enjoy it. I have the WWE Network for only $9.99 a month, and I absolutely love it.
Not paid.
Not paid. Oh God, I wish. I fucking wish.
Hey, get WWE money. We're not doing a podcast from our houses anymore.
You know what? I sit there and I look at some of the people that correspond for WWE. There's one guy. I'm not going to name names. He's a big-time podcaster, and he got with the WWE, but literally the dude looks like the creepy guy from high school that would keep a shrine to the most popular girl in his closet. That's literally what the dude looks like. And I look at all these correspondents, and I'm sitting there like, I could fucking do this better than any of them and bring a lot more fucking pizzazz to this shit. I'd be like, fucking The Miz is battling tonight. It's going to be freaking awesome. Everybody, and they're all like three-piece suits and shit. I'd be like, no way, I'm wearing like, you know what, I won't wear a suit. What's the hottest shirt on the market for WWEshop.com? I'm wearing the fucking T-shirt. We're going to sell some motherfucking merchandise when I'm on camera.
Or you could wear the Nerd Rage Renegade shirts that
I could.
are available for custom order.
Custom order. You can get Nerd Rage Renegades 316 says, I just out-comicked your ass. Do you smell what the Renegades is cooking? Let's see. Nerd Rage Renegades, best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Rest in Renegades.
Comic Book Samurai.
Kakeru Senjiro. We are samurai.
My comic book Ronin, I prefer because I'm kind of rogue.
We wander the wastelands of comic book.
That's right.
And don't go on Skybound's fucking Facebook page and try to talk shit to Chief because he's a savage penguin. He's savage.
I've been a savage penguin today, man. Oh man, I'm just so fucking fed up with that goddamn show, The Walking Dead.
And that is, and that is so weird because this was your show. This was like everything. And now
I used to review this for another website. I used to review the comics for the same website. I have done rundowns on my personal Facebook of this show and how much I loved it for the first 2 seasons. And man, they just fucking ruined it. And it's all Scott Gimple. And I don't care what any of these assholes on Facebook say. These people that don't read the books and don't give a fuck. They're like, oh, I like the changes and everything, and I think it should be that. But no, I mean, yeah, I get it. It's got to change. It's a necessity to expand on the comic panels because comic books are not that long. I mean, not that much goes on in each issue. It cuts off. You got to wait a month for the next one. Yeah. But to pack a lot of story into the show, yeah, of course you have to go beyond the panels. But when you're just killing core characters that are needed, especially later on, and you're just killing them like, fuck it, shock value, let's kill this guy, we'll just give this part to somebody else. I'm getting sick of that. I don't want to see that. I want to see my favorite characters happen what happens to them, and I'm so fucking tired of the show just fucking it over. I mean, I get it. When Kirkman said there was going to be changes, fine. That's fine. When you change the core of the future, then I don't care anymore. I want to see. The reason I watch it is because I want to see my favorite parts of the book and how they're going to flesh that out and how they're going to add to that and how they're going to fucking. It's supposed to be an improvement, is what I'm saying. And they're not improving it. They're making it worse.
And I mean, when you talk about it, they fucked Tyrese up royally. Tyrese was a shell of anything that was actually Tyrese.
One of my favorite all-time characters in the book. Even though he died a hero in the comic. He didn't die a simpering bitch from zombie bites and get tossed out of a car.
He got beheaded by the goddamn governor.
Yeah, because he went with Michonne to try to sabotage the governor. They went in the body armor and they got caught. And Michonne managed to get away, and they killed Tyrese in front of the prison.
Which was Herschel's death in the show.
Yeah, and that's fucking, god damn it, man. They just, so many things, and I've been forgiving because there's been highlights too. Like there's been episodes where
Rick ripping the guy's jugular out. That's a highlight for me.
That's a highlight. The other time he's done that, I mean, the fucking like the ones that Kirkman, the episodes that Kirkman has written, have been really good. And there was one that was even completely nothing to do with the comic story. The one episode that I really loved that was the most like just a single issue of The Walking Dead was early on at the prison when, I think it was at the prison, where the weird lady, Rick found the weird lady in the woods.
Yeah.
And she was saying, I got my husband, we're going to go, and she's taking him to the husband or whatever, and he finds out that she's a nut, and she's got the head in a box or whatever, and she's crazy. I thought just the way Rick acted in that and the situation itself, just with the one lone crazy nut living in the woods, I thought that was a lot like an issue you would get of the comic book, and I loved it. And then, like, there's certain changes that they've made and things that they've added that I absolutely thought were great. But killing Carl is basically you just taking the future of the entire story and just cut his throat. And for the rumor I've heard today on Facebook is that they're going to give that Carl Lydia thing to Daryl, which, you know me, I hate that greasy, coke-bloated, bad-acting mumble mouth motherfucker. I hate him. I wish Daryl would have died 4 seasons ago. I can't stand that guy. And I can't stand that every picture of fucking Norman Reedus he's flipping the camera off that I've ever seen. It's like, well, fuck you too, buddy. I don't need you flipping me off.
Here's my thing. Really started going, like, the one time I liked Daryl was when he was searching for Sophia. That's when I liked Daryl, was when he was searching for Sophia, when they didn't know Sophia was dead, and in the barn at Herschel's farm, when he was looking for Sophia. I liked that, and I liked anything that was Daryl and Merle, because Michael Rooker was fantastic.
I like Rooker. Yeah, I like Rooker. I thought he was a good addition.
What I hated when the show started going downhill for me was, one, the whole fucking where's Beth? Where the fuck is Beth? Beth in the goddamn
whole
hospital.
Episodes dedicated to her in the goddamn hospital with those people. It's like fucking boring.
Now, that seems like something that should have been more like Fear the Walking Dead, where they could have had like different characters and something. That would have been fine.
Do a 10-minute montage and get back to fucking Rick, because that's what the story's supposed to be about.
That pissed me off. I hated that it was like half a season to even get to fucking Terminus. You know, and that whole shit.
Yeah, they just drag it. They drag the fuck out of it, and there's no reason. That book is so bam, bam, bam. The way it's the TV show and the book are night and day, and it's lost its way. It has lost its way.
Yeah. And then when you get to All Out War, and before the war even starts, they kill off half the Alexandria characters that are either still alive today or they play an intricate role. They kill them off like that at the very beginning, before anything even happens. Now, yes, I was happy that they went with the Glenn death, because to me, Glenn's death always pushed Maggie farther, and especially, most recently, Negan's Negan's his interaction with Maggie in that issue was fucking spot on. It was fucking fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the last one? Are you
Yeah.
talking about 174 where she goes to meet him at his house?
Yeah, and he's like, you know what? Fucking kill me. Go ahead and fucking
Yeah.
kill me. I like that. I hate
That was a symbolic issue, but like
very symbolic.
him burning. Well, he finds a bat in an old barn. Like he's got his own little farm. He's got his little crops, his sunflowers. He's trying to live on his own, trying to be a decent guy.
Fuck you,
And
grass.
yeah, he he curses out his grass. That's the greatest part. And he finds a bat in an old barn, and it's almost like fate. He finds this bat leaning up against the wall in a barn, and he gets barbed wire, and he makes a new Lucille out of it. Well, like right after he does that, that's when Maggie shows up, and at the end, after they have their talk, and Negan breaks down and wants to die, and she doesn't kill him. It leaves the door open so that he may ally with Maggie someday. She didn't totally say that, fuck off for life. I hate your guts. She just kind of left him to his own. And there's hope for that relation someday. Wouldn't it be odd if Maggie got with Negan now?
Yeah, but she's getting with that other dude.
Yeah, that's true. But the symbolism of him freeing himself from Negan when he took the new Lucille out and he burned it. And then he smiled and he walked away from it. And I thought, that's Negan becoming a human being again.
Yeah. And that's the thing that people on these forums, on these Facebook groups, these pages, they don't understand. Like, as soon as Negan killed Glenn, it was all, oh, fuck Negan, he needs to die. I hope Rick kills Negan, or I hope Michelle or Maggie kills Negan. But if you read the book, you understand Negan has a part to play, and he's going to play it well. If they kill Negan off this season, they are the biggest bunch of fuckers because Negan, his whole thing, him and Rick are the two. They have so much good stuff lately in the books. I mean, yeah. Negan with the Whispers is a very intricate part, and it shows.
You're losing the best of Negan if you get rid of him. This war shit. Everybody hated Negan during the war. Yeah. It was after the war when he was in Rick's basement and Carl started developing a more father-son relationship with Negan than he was with Rick because Rick didn't have time for him. All that shit, Negan's reformation and his becoming a new man through all of that will be lost. And that is the most interesting, best part of the character.
Yeah, it's just that, all that shit, and this is why I've always said, this is why you have to talk me down sometimes, like you had to talk me down with Deadpool the movie, because people, they get like this, they hype shit up, or then they spout their nonsense. They don't understand that there's stuff in the books or character traits that should be that make these characters what they are.
That makes me like it. And you're gonna fuck it up, I don't like it anymore.
I mean, and everybody out there, there are the people that are fuck Stan Lee, he didn't do shit, it was all Jack Kirby, or fuck this, or fuck that. Anybody who had their hand in creating a character or creating a world, they had a hand in it, and they created it a certain way and gave these characters traits and abilities and reasonings, and that's why they're so fantastic. When you take a character, Tyrese, for example, who was Rick's right-hand man in the comic book, was a fucking badass with his
Rick's
fucking
conscience.
hammer.
He was Rick's conscience, by the way. Rick, at that point in the prison, Rick was a fucking wild animal and would have killed fucking anybody and didn't really... And he was ready to fucking off all those prisoners and Tyrese was his fucking conscience through that and kept him from doing a lot of stupid shit.
In the show, he was just, bro, I'm carrying this baby around. That's the other thing I don't like. I don't fucking give two shits about Judith.
No, should have been long dead.
What
long
she
dead.
She has to be carried to Terminus by Tyrese, and then, oh my God, where's Judith? I'm sorry, people. Judith died in the book when Lori was shot in the back with a shotgun and crushed her to death.
Yeah, fell on her.
Forward.
Somebody, that was Uni's husband. Now, he was saying that the baby was shot, and we had the on-air argument. That's not the case. I mean, it was out in the public. We actually straightened it out on the show, but we did have that argument about how the baby actually died.
Yeah, we straightened it out. But so I think that we could beat this horse, until it's
Yeah.
fucking.
I didn't mean to go off on a